Welcome councillors. I'll declare the ordinary council meeting on the 19th of June open at 3:01. We don't have any apologies or leave of absence. Declarations of interest as our standard protocol. If there's any declarations, Mark, have there been any?
I'm aware that there will be some submitted,
Yeah.
Mr. President.
All right. We'll just go through each item. So financial, I myself will be declaring a financial interest in item 10.3.3, fees and charges. I'll obviously step out the room and Councillor Crooks will preside that item. Do you have any other declarations of financial interest?
Chair, 10.6.3, financial interest.
Thank you. And your forms are in, Councillor Strange?
Forms in.
Thank you.
10.3.3 fees and charges
All right.
for a family member.
Thank you, Councillor Hoot. Forms are in, obviously. Thank you. Closely associated persons and impartiality. Do we have any declarations?
Yeah. Same 10.6.3, just because emergency services have gear stored in that space.
Thanks, Councillor Hodgkins. Your forms are in. Any other declarations?
And Mr. President, I as the CEO am declaring an interest of impartiality as the author of this and an employee of council for item 10.6.3.
Thank you, Mr. Furr. Forms are in, obviously. Do we have any proximity declarations of interest? No. Thank you. We have no response to previous public questions. No public questions today. No petitions, deputations, presentations or submissions. Item 7, applications for leave of absence for July.
Councillor White won't be for leave on absence for the next meeting,
Thanks, Councillor White.
7th of July.
To move that.
Yes.
Bruce, yep. So we have Councillor White has an application for leave of absence. Someone like to move that? Thanks, Councillor Hoot. Seconder, Councillor Foss. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. Any other applications for leave of absence for July? No, thank you. Item 8, announcements. Apart from hopefully it will rain tomorrow, that'd be lovely. We can test out some of our techniques for capturing water. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. That's about it. Item 9, confirmation of minutes. The ordinary meeting of council held on Thursday the 15th of May. Do I have a mover? Thank you, Councillor Strange. A seconder? Thank you, Councillor Foss. All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. The local emergency management committee held on Wednesday the 28th of May. Had your minutes. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Thanks, Councillor Hodgkins. Seconder. Councillor Crooks. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. Item 10, matters for decision. There are none. Item 10.1, Manager of Works and Services. There is none. Item 10.2, Manager of Strategic Business Development. There are none. Item 10.3, the Manager of Finance. Welcome, Mr. Darby. Item 10.3.1, Schedule of Accounts Paid.
Thank you, Mr. President. The schedule of accounts paid is presented for council's approval. If there are any questions on any of it.
Any questions or queries, councillors? No? Otherwise, would someone like to move that we accept? Thanks, Councillor Bahoot. Do you want to seconder? Thanks, Councillor Foss. All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. Down. Item 10.3.2, monthly financial reports. Mr. Darby.
Thank you. The monthly financial report you have all received with the agenda. Do you wish me to go through it?
Just some highlights, if there's any highlights, Mr. Darby. Anything you'd like us to note?
As The overall surplus currently stands at $176,500, thereabouts. Rates, the amount received to date, 95.4%. There's still more than $84,000 to be collected from both current and arrears. And as previously should be noted that there's approximately $14,000 related to pensioner rates and ESL deferments.
Do you have any questions or queries, Mr. Daly? Otherwise, we do have a motion to accept the report as presented. Someone like to move that? Thanks, Councillor Waite. For the seconder. Thanks, Councillor Hodgkiss. All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. Item 10.3.3, I have declared an interest, so I'll be leading financial interest. Councillor Cooks will be chairing the meeting.
Yep, item, better wait for the first Item 10.3.3, schedule for fees and charges for 25-26 budget. Hopefully you've all read that, and there's the officer's recommendation. Number 1, include the fees and charges in the 25-26 annual budget, and item 2, undertake advertising by local public notice pursuant to section 619 of the Local Government Act 1995 for the information of the public prior to 30th of June 25, enabling them to take effect on and from the 1st of July 2025. Would someone like to move that recommendation, please?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just wondering, the other rentals, the 60 Westrel and the 99 Noonagen, are they market value? I'm presuming they are not Shire workers.
Through the chair, we're just sifting through the schedule to find the related item.
Page
2.
Yeah, page 2. Towards the bottom, there is other rentals. It's got 60 Westrel Street and 99 Noonagen Road.
Okay, yes, so yes, 99 Westrel Street is,
Sorry, 60 Westrel.
60 Westrel Street.
Yep.
That is rented to the chemist.
Okay.
So,
So that's a subsidised rent then, obviously.
yeah,
And the 99 Noonagen,
that one is that is market value rent.
that is market value, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. That was my query. Was I understood that the 89 was probably subsidised, but I wondered whether 315 is actually market value. That was my question.
It was based on market value when it was set, and obviously,
Just with the increases in rents
yeah,
in recent times.
Through the chair, there may be a requirement in looking at the lease arrangements, whether or not that rent is set at that without any CPI increase or arrangement. We can certainly take a component of that question on notice and come back to council with clarification on that
quite
matter.
a lot of tenancy agreements do have a clause in there that rent cannot rise by more than 6%
Okay.
in one
Yeah.
financial year.
Okay.
No further questions? Would someone like to move that recommendation?
Happy to move.
Councillor Strange has moved. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Hodgkiss. All those in favour? That's a majority. Okay, thank you.
Want me to go and get
Maria Beckham.
Thanks, Councillor Crooks.
Through the chair, just to advise Chair President that item was passed as recommended.
Thank you, Mr. Fur. Item 10.3.4, budget amendments, June 2025. Mr. Darby.
Thank you. In reviewing the current budget for the new budget for the new financial year, some anomalies come to light, particularly around the sporting club reserves, where some matching contributions were incorrectly recognised, and in one instance the whole contributions were not recognised, whether our matching one or from the sporting body. The other one is there was $50,000 budgeted to go to the Transport Infrastructure Reserve, but they were funds that we expected from the disposal of the batching plant, which obviously hasn't happened, so we don't have the 50 to add to the reserve. And the final part of that is with all the items that were sold at auction recently, there was no budget allocation for the costs involved with the auction of those items.
And through the chair, just to remind council that when council adopts budget, if there is no general ledger or account that has money identified to be expended, then the administration is not permitted to proceed with that expenditure without seeking an amendment and actually getting funds identified into that general ledger, hence why it's been brought to council.
Thanks, Mr. Fur, for clarifications. Any questions or queries from council? Otherwise, we do have a recommendation. I won't read it in total. Someone like to move that recommendation? Or thank you, Councillor Poot, and seconder, Councillor Waite. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. Item 10.4, regulatory services. There are none. Item 10.5, Manager of Governance and Community Services. Mr. Darden.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is to seek Council's endorsement to affix the common seal for 3 agreements that the Shire has entered into. For the one for the installation of the pool heating system, the Win Television deed of license, and the tenancy agreement for Ellis.
Right, thank you. Item 10.5.1, the Shire seal. We have a recommendation that we endorse the use of the seal. Would someone like to move that? Thank you, Councillor Crooks. Do we have a seconder? Thanks, Councillor Foss. All those in favour? Thank you, it's unanimous. Item 10.6, the CEO, Mr. Fur. Item 10.6.1, the Bruce Rock Air District's Ag Society request for financial and in-kind support.
Thank you, Mr. President. Taking the report as read, a very short summary being that Council is asked to consider a request from the Bruce Rock and District's Agricultural Society for financial and in-kind support to assist with the delivery of the 86th Bruce Rock Agricultural Show to be held on Saturday the 20th September. Council, just bringing to Council's attention, as you will well know, that we Council has in the past, every other year in the year of the show, made a financial contribution and in-kind support. In previous years it has been $8,000. In this particular application it is for $10,000, which is taking into consideration the increased costs from from what it was previously to what it is now. I'd also like to, as it mentions in the report there, at the last agricultural year show, there was no funding provided, and the Ag Society actually communicated that they wished that to be their contribution to the shop project. Points to note. Other than that, I will happy to take any questions as necessary.
Just reading the item. So, of the $10,000, you're assuming or estimating $3,000 of that would be in kind. So we're talking about $7,000.
No, through the chair, it's a $10,000 cash contribution with in-kind as well.
That's right.
Oh, as well, okay. Thank you. Do we have any questions or clarifications? Otherwise, we do have Thanks, Councillor Strange, that we do approve 10,000, and second, Councillor Foss. All those in favour? Thank you, it's unanimous. Item 10.6.2, request for additional free community bus trips to the Bruce Rock Senior Citizens Centre.
Thank you, Mr. President. Council is being asked to, is requested to consider a submission from the centre seeking extended free access to the Shire's community bus. I would remind Council that at present the centre is provided and afforded 3 free long trips so that they can travel to places such as Northam and other outlinings, 2J, etc., etc. Receiving a letter from the Secretary from the Senior Citizen Centre and in conversations with their President, the request was for free use of the bus throughout the year and for shorter trips to encourage and engage with other social events with other senior citizen centres, with an assurance that those trips are for social engagement and senior well-being, and a commitment that those trips would not in any way, shape or form be any detriment to the economic, the shopping and the purchasing of goods. So basically they wouldn't be going somewhere else to do their shopping, so we maintain our economic status there. The recommendation from the administration is not necessarily to endorse that request in its entirety, but the administration does actually ask Council to consider an increase of that free service to include 3 short trips, as stipulated in the paper, each not exceeding 150 kilometres, which would be free of charge for those social events under the circumstances as raised. I think it's from an administration perspective, it's important to consider that this is a contribution by Shire to the well-being of our senior citizens, and it's important that there is no misperception that this is a community bus service funded by the Shire, and as a consequence the recommendation is stating just merely for 3 additional free trips, short trips, and I'll open it up for questions and consideration by Council.
Councillors? Councillor Hodges?
Chair, I think I'd like to see something in there to remove the risk for a paying user. So if there's someone who wants to pay to use the community bus on a day that the seniors want it, the paying person takes priority.
So through the Chair, so the caveat to that agreement would be that any paying hirer, would take precedent over a date that may coincide with a senior citizen trip. Is that a fair reflection?
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Councillor Hodgkiss. Other questions or queries? Otherwise, we do have a recommendation. If someone's happy to move with that caveat. Councillor Crooks. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah, I'll second.
Thanks, Councillor Waite. Anyone speak against? Otherwise, have we put it to a vote? All those in favour? Thank you. It's unanimous. Making note of the caveat for hirers. Item 10.6.3, request to lease the portion of the Shire aircraft hangar. Thank you, Councillor Strange. Just leaving the room. No other declarations, I think, this item. Now, Mr. Furr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Request to lease a portion of the Shire aircraft hangar, Bruce Rock Airfield. Council is being asked to consider a request from a Mr. Stephen Strange, who is also a serving councillor, to lease the remaining half of the Shire-owned aircraft hangar located at the Bruce Rock Airfield. Council should note that the other half of the hangar is currently under lease to a separate tenant, and Mr. Strange has requested similar terms of the existing lease agreement. Those key terms being 5 years, a term of 5 years, at an annual rent of $408. Payment terms, rent payable within 30 days, and the purpose is for storage of private aircraft and associated equipment. The recommendation and the comments within the item reflect that whilst the regulation stipulates that being under a market value of $20,000, there wouldn't be a need to advertise this publicly. It is recommended, based on to be completely transparent regarding this process, that we advertise, if council is in agreement, that we would advertise this request from Mr. Stephen Strange regarding the leasing of the other half of the hangar, awaiting, and if there is any public comment, we would bring that back to council. If not, I would be requesting approval from council to execute a lease, subject to there being no public comment opposing the lease received. And I put it out to council if there's any questions regarding this.
Council, any questions or comments?
Obviously we had some gear parked in there, which I'm sure we can relocate. I did have one question in regard to the amount of rent that we charge for people leasing the hangar versus what we charge private enterprises for leasing square meterage to build their own shed on. I don't know what the amounts are, but just thought we should try and clarify that.
And through the chair, I will disclose that that was a question raised to me from Councillor Hodgkiss, and we're actually taking that question on notice, and we'll actually come back with regards to a response and that actual amount. The only thing I would say is that this particular request is associated with similar terms to someone that is already currently hiring the hangar as well. But certainly we'll come back with that information, which will certainly be useful. As we progress, as the council has made a commitment, wants us to review all of our leasing arrangements and ensuring over the next 12 months we're in a position to have a revised strategy regarding leasing and contracting Shire assets.
And I'll make comment going forward. Obviously, we don't need to by regulations advertise, but a good process that we will be advertising.
Through the chair, I think it's absolutely important, and with all the disclosures, I think it's just appropriate standing by the Shire to be completely open and transparent with our community, just to demonstrate procedural appropriateness in this matter.
Right, there's no questions or comments. We do have a recommendation. Would someone like to move that? Or, thank you, Councillor Waite. Do I have a seconder? Thanks, Councillor Bahout. I'll just take it straight to a vote. All those in favour? Thank you, it's unanimous. And if someone could please grab Councillor Strange. Welcome, Councillor Strange. Just letting you know that the motion is approved, that we will put it out to advertising firstly, and there is some investigation just about costs, but yes.
Through the chair, but not necessarily
not
associated
no,
to
just going
this
forward.
particular item.
Yeah. Understood. Thank you. All right, item 10.6.4, lease renewal, 61 Westfield Street, Bruce Rock. Mr. Third.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Just summarising this item, Council is requested to consider and endorse the renewal of a residential tenancy agreement with the Housing Authority Government Regional Officers Housing Programme, otherwise known as GROW, or the acronym is GROW, for the property located at 61 Westfield Street. The Housing Authority currently leases 61 Westfield Street from the Shire, under a residential tenancy agreement which expires on the 15th of August. They are suggesting and recommending a further term of 3 years, commencing immediately after the current agreement, at a weekly rental amount of $630, which is 57% more than what it would be, than what it has been previously. Noting that $630 per week is for the duration of that term. And it's subject to the same general terms and conditions of the existing lease, but with some updated compliance conditions, which include ensuring that electrical safety, electrical compliance certificate is provided, confirming the installation and functionality of all hardwired smoke alarms and safety switches, which is consistent with GRO's requirements in leasing properties. The servicing of all the air conditioning units within the 12 months prior to the lease commencement, and the receipt of all internal approvals by the Housing Authority within 14 days of the offer date. Today being the 19th of June, and the letter was received on the 5th of June. It is today, so subject to Council's approval, we will be informing them immediately after this meeting that we wish to proceed, because this is the day. So the recommendation associated with this item is about accepting the offer from the Housing Authority to renew the lease for a further 3 years, which would be commencing from the 16th of August at a rental of $630 per week. And happy to take any questions from Council.
Any questions or comments? Otherwise, we do have a recommendation that we accept the offer from GRO. Someone like to move that? Thanks, Councillor Foss. Do I have a seconder? Thanks, Councillor Crooks. All those in favour? Thank you, it's unanimous. Item 11. There's no new business of an urgent nature? No. Item 12, no confidential items. So, item 13, close the meeting. I'd like to close the meeting at 3:29. Thank you, councillors.